What did I do? How,
Did you join a
no, I was
multiplayer
creating
game?
a single player. I don't know how.
Oh.
Okay.
So
Four,
they only bringing those laws in
40,
now,
20.
or
Huh?
they only bringing those laws in now? Like
Well,
we have
there's
to be.
some like in because I mean like I think it's New York or something, like if you buy a certain size of drink, they tax it more or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, and that's people think it's sugar. It's not the sugar. It's the corn syrup that's bad.
Additives. Yeah.
Because like when I first had, I think it was from a Hispanic store or a Mexican store. I don't know which is proper to say.
Coca-Cola.
Yes, made with real sugar.
I've heard of that.
It was weird, but after drinking it, oh my goodness, it's so much better. But yeah,
I have never tried American Coke. I've never tried
oh,
it.
with the corn
But
syrup,
people keep saying I should. Yeah, I've never tried it.
um,
I
you
don't
get
like- I don't
you
like-
get used to it. But after I've had the real sugar, I prefer to have the real sugar. It's just it's more expensive though.
I think the Mexican one is like it's different even to our one. I think it's a bit different. I don't know. It's a mix of corn syrup. I think here actually it might be a mix of corn syrup and sugar.
And I
Not
think
sugar, like white sugar and corn syrup.
I
think
will
I'm not entirely sure.
I think the one that's actually from like Latin America or whatever, it's because we're getting a lot of Hispanic kind of Latin American people in, and they didn't like the corn syrup because if you've never used to it, that flavor, and when they do the pure sugar, and I think some are starting to do the mix, but people think that sugar bad, sugar equals this. No, a little bit of sugar is better than corn syrup. I mean, I love it. Like, and my new thing, I got I went by this food pantry just to see coconut sugar, dude. Coconut sugar. Oh my goodness.
Okay, my coconut sugar is so good.
Oh.
It still is like heavy though. Is
It is, but like when because I usually drink like dark coffee, I can just use.
Oh, you put it in your coffee.
Yeah, I don't bake because I don't know. I think Lefty might remember that. I have actually burnt Jello.
What?
Yes. You heard me.
Jello's in like jelly?
Yeah, you know, like Jello.
No.
Jello. Gelatin.
Like oh yeah,
Gelatin.
yeah, like you make yeah. Wait, what? You
Get in my belly.
Dude, it's just hot water and powder. I guess
Okay.
you guys got hot
All right.
water and cubes.
All right. So we're gonna take you back again, 20 some years ago. Okay. And there used to be this game, and you remember Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if you ever heard of a website called Newgrounds. Those all kinds of flash games and everything.
Oh, like AOL days maybe?
Yeah, it was like Newgrounds,
Like
E-Bombs
AOL
World.
days. Yeah.
Okay, well, there was a game on there called Who Wants to Smoke My Honey Bear? It was basically like
That game sounds so familiar.
it was basically a weed version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right? And like the ultimate thing, it's like when you win, instead of being $1 million, the top prize is you get a smoke out of a honey bear, right? So anyways, we were pretty trashed. And I was pre-gaming because you know, you always, when you're younger, you pre-game, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you don't go to the bar completely sober because then you're going to spend like $1,000, right? Well, anyways, never ended up going to the bar. People were coming over. I was making Jello shots. All right.
I
Now,
always wanted to try them. They're very like Americanized.
Yeah.
Always wanted to try
Now,
them.
as you know, common they say guys don't like to read instructions. This guy never reads instructions.
Did they say that?
They say that. Like, okay, I took a VCR apart, had extra parts, and it would fast forward in like an hour, but rewind and the time it used to take to fast forward. So I like cross some wires, right? Never look at instructions, right? I'll be the person that'll be sitting there in my IKEA desk or something. It's a little cockeyed. But because you're already in here, sorry. But when it's cockeyed, I'll just like go ahead and get like some books or a couple magazines, to level it out, right? Well, I evidently up until this point, I don't think I had actually made Jello myself. I had like got it in little Jello cups or family members and stuff had made it. Well, I'm like, I got this. I know what to do. Doing a little pre-gaming on my own, playing that game, vibing, listening to this Pink Floyd, Through the Animal Planet on. I got the monkeys flinging poo over in the corner, everything's just jamming, right? I'm playing some, Star Wars Galaxies, trying to become a Jedi, and I'm just like, all right, I take the Jello. Yeah, we're not going to college. I'm not going for that. Ooh.
You gotta be a pet groomer
sure, it's a level 9.
Okay.
So I'm like, I don't need instructions,
I think that's just a number, by the way. I don't think it's actually level 9, is it?
I took my Jello. I didn't know how people made the Jello shots. I was just going by, I've had a Jello shot. I can make this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it didn't work that way. So I took the Jello.
You didn't read the instructions.
Oh god. Oh no. No. I took.
Jello is like powder, right? I think I bought it before.
Yeah. It's it almost looks like the flavoring packs, like the Crystal Light kind of things.
That shit's taken off right now.
Yeah. It's
Your water top is like. Oh,
it's gelatin basically. So
Ours is like hard. It's like already jelly, like already in that jelly form, and then you just melt it down.
Well, that
to, like,
you can get that, but this is in a powdered form, and you put it in there, and you just add water, right? Well, okay, me being the smart person I was, I knew because I asked like my mom or somebody. I go, I do 2 cups, right? They're like, yeah, 2 cups. I'm like, all right, 2 cups, same amount you put in making Kool-Aid. Well, guess what I did? Put the Jello in the pan, put 2 cups of water in the pan, turned the pan on high on the stove, walked away, started pre-gaming, forgot about it. Smoke alarms are going off. I go in my kitchen, and the pan is the Jello is so burnt that there is like a 1/2 inch layer of thick char on the bottom. I scraped that pan for a half hour, could not get rid of all of it. It was my only saucepan, right? So what did I do? Did I stop making Jello shots? No. I read the instructions for the next one, and guess what? 1 cup hot water, 1 cup cold water, stir. So
that's what they are. Okay.
I took that and put those to the back. So the Jello shots at the back had little black flakes in it that I couldn't clean out in the pan. And I put those in the back because by the time you got to those, you're too drunk to care. So yes, I literally burnt Jello. And wait, one more that you're gonna love. I have caught a Subway meatball sandwich on fire in the microwave.
Well, you don't put sandwiches in the microwave.
Okay, you know Subway, right?
And filling, yeah.
How they have meatballs. Well, okay, I was sitting there and it got a little cold because for some reason I talk a lot. My food gets cold. So I put it in the microwave. Well, I forgot. My timer didn't work. So you could set it for 30 seconds or 10 minutes. It would go until you turned the timer off. Okay? So again, it's in there doing its thing. I'm in there just pre-game and having fun. And all of a sudden I smelled this weird, a Subway meatball. You know the meatballs?
No.
You know meatballs like spaghetti and meatball?
So I know what meatballs.
Yeah, it was the meatball sandwich, right?
How does that burn though?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. When you have it in the wrapper, and the timer doesn't move.
What is
So
a
and
fucking rapper? What the hell?
but you know when you but see, you know when like if you're drinking or whatever, the concept of time is a little off. So in my mind, it had only been in there a few seconds. In actuality, it was probably in there for like an hour because I started smelling this weird smell, right? And I went into the kitchen, and inside my microwave, there's flames inside the microwave. I opened it up, and the Subway wrapper was literally on fire. And my timer was still at 30 seconds. It had never moved. But the funny thing is, I didn't smell like the actual flame. What I smelled is, it smelled like somebody was grilling like generic, cheap, low quality sausage. And then when I smelled that, it made me think, oh, I have a sandwich. Walked in.
No.
Yes. And just
Were you
let's.
just pre-gaming, or were you pre-gaming with, other
Oh, yeah. It was,
okay. That makes more sense too.
oh yeah, it was the most common two natural substances. And, of course, I did make some Jello shots, a few of them with Everclear. You know. But it was funny because I never realized, hey, that's in there. And I go look, and when it's on fire, my first thought wasn't like, take it out. My first thought is, I'm too fucked up to drive and I'm hungry.
Oh, dude.
But this was so many years ago, and it's funny because.
But this is like what, 25 years ago?
Yeah, I was about 18-ish or so. Yeah, so.
Okay.
No, and I'll be 45 Wednesday.
Oh, jeez.
On the 10th. I don't know. But yeah, I was.
Did you say?
On the 10th.
Oh, I thought you said I'm the 10th. I was like, okay.
No, my birthday's the 10th. It's because I'm missing my front tooth, so when I don't have my partial in, or I do, yeah, because like the ridges of your mouth is how you enunciate. But yeah, no, on the 10th. Hey,
so that's where you're saying everything falls on the 10th. That makes sense now.
Yep. And no, it was just funny. Like my birthday, all of this, and these tests were all coming up, and I'm just like, jeez.
That sounds like a sign from the universe. Yeah.
Actually, but you know what? I love that more. When if there's just one test for me to do, one project for me to do, I'll slack, and I wait until that deadline. I thrive in. I'm one of those procrastinators. Yes, I thrive in chaos. I do better in the last minute kind of thing. I don't know. I've always did that, and it even though people are like, well, you should take more time. No,
Isn't that like a symptom of ADHD?
Part of it, yeah. And I mean, basically, you have to trick your brain into, because people think like OCD tendencies. And what it is, it's because I have 1,000 thoughts going through my head at all the time. So, like, you remember Euro Trip and that little monkey? Right? Yeah. When you hear the Frugenheimen, did you say Frugenheimen? And that, like, when I close my eyes, that little monkey starts clapping those bells, and it's on. It's like, and, oh yeah, and I have tons of thoughts. If we noticed, like, when I say something, like, that's why I'll type like a couple letters, and then Lefty can say that and Cass can say that. You'll see 1,000 different spots for me in chat, but there'll be 2 words each. Because instead of typing the whole thing, it's just like a few words to get it going, and then I'll, like, when you said, I started doing what you did and Casper did, is replying to the message, because I'm able to keep all the different conversations going. But I noticed how you were like, what the hell are you talking about? Because I'm like, I'm responding to something now, also from something a week ago, from something this said, and you're just like, wait, what? And so I started doing that for your guys' benefit, and I think it helps, because it's like when I respond, it shows I'm talking about that specific thing versus spending and I mean that's something that in my mind doesn't make sense. It's like, why do I have to do that? But I don't always take that into account. But yeah, when the circus starts, it's funny, and that's why I've been doing data analysis and QA all my life. I just never knew it.
It works.
I
well,
told.
That alongside maths, being good at maths, it works. Like that's why.
Well,
it's a perfect job for you.
Well, and it's funny. It's the math part. I mean, I can do it, but honestly, if I went back and I looked at some of my old math stuff that I was in, I wouldn't be able to do it because I would have to start over. But the way my mind works is like I wouldn't really do homework or anything. I would study right before a test. Oh, I didn't hit left. And if I studied right before a test for about 15 to 20 minutes, I can remember every single thing I read for at least 3 or 4 hours. 100%.
I don't even know how I passed any of my exams.
Oh,
I never studied.
I was the
the
crash person, man. And
We're fucking luck.
oh yeah, but yeah. But I'm telling you, you're gonna be you're gonna be a game designer, dude. You know, it's just like I said. I can get into all the tests and testing and breaking stuff, but you two streamers, you two are the ones that's gonna get all the free keys. All right.
Oh, that's gonna be faster, dude.
I'm telling you, you should sign up for those too. And like I said, I applied for them just for them to know. I mean, hey,
I'm not applying. This is the first time I was like, I'm gonna put myself out there and play this. Normally I'm like, oh, I don't have the numbers, I'm not gonna do it. Like, it's too embarrassing. You're gonna reject me. Like, no.
You know what I did? I'm like, okay. Then when I did it, I think the YouTube and this Twitch was like not even a week old, right? And I had like 5 subscribers or subs. And I was telling them like, no, it was 8 days or something. I'm like, all right, now given this amount of people in this short of time, if you think about it, I'm averaging a half a person every day. That means by the end of this month, I'll have at least 15 people. And at the end of the year, I'll have over 300 people.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work that way. But
well, you never know.
I signed up for the ones for the games that I test because a lot of them I test, I want to play accurate, you know? I mean, there's so many. I mean,
there's some that I do play through though that I would never have an interest in, but I just want to see what the game is like, you know? Like, a sports one not that long ago. You know?
And honestly, I used to not like survival type games because my nephew used to try to get me to play 7 Days to Die all the time.
Yes, 7 Days to Die, best game ever.
I hated it. Well, also you got to think we're playing on console, and console is like 10 levels back.
When they went console.
Well, I mean, like, no, you guys are like, it's like Payday 2. How Payday 2 on PC got all the updates that console didn't. And because they used, I think, the Starbreeze engine or whatever, and there was issues with it. Now Payday 3, I believe, is using Unreal, so they're able to give basically the same updates, you know, give or take. But yeah, like,
well, in France, what happened with console is they were like, yeah, we'll sell the concept to console, someone else can design it, and then that company went bust, and then they were like, well, it's not anything to do with us, it's off our hands, like we're just PC, like that's all we're doing, we just sold the rights to have it on console, and Telltale went bust.
Also, that
was like, well, we're not going to fucking deal with this. So then it kind of just got stuck. But then there was such uproar from the community, even PC being like, well, I play on console as well. Like, what the fuck? So the fun things were like, okay, fair enough, we have to do something about this. And then they started putting in updates, I'm pretty sure.
So that's specific to 7 Days?
Console, yeah, they did some updates. Well, I think the fun things took over, and they were like, they took it back after issues with community going, what the fuck? People in community like, oh, what the fuck?
Because I think it does now have electricity. But it took
Yeah,
forever to
dude,
get
they promised us
electricity,
electricity and
and
Kickstarter. They were like,
the
we'll
vending
give you this.
machines, and actually like legit towns and all that stuff. Like if I would have started it on
Actually,
PC,
I miss those that style of game. I actually really miss it when it was just an honest game, and it was just. I know. That was one of my favorite times of the 7 days that I did. It really was.
and I mean, and see, playing that I would, but it was just like it was so limited on the console, and
Couldn't
at
play it on
that,
PC.
well, see, I've always
They even
been,
made it new.
I did more with console because I was always a PC gamer, and well, minus back the PlayStation, Nintendo days and everything. But I got
Oh,
tired of
smart.
upgrading my video card every week,
Yeah.
and so I went to console. And then once I came back, because this PC originally had a 750. I think
Mhm.
actually Lefty probably knows some of the experiences I was trying to play with him. Is I think that was when I had my 750 Ti. It basically struggled to play Minesweeper on low.
What? Oh damn.
Well, because
What else did I run just 750? What else did you have in there?
I had a high end i7 5820, but
Oh.
I designed this computer in mind that I was going to be a console gamer, doing this for
Okay.
like programming and learning stuff like that. Which I didn't
Yeah.
realize is if you're going to program in that, you need a better RAM and graphics card, for
Mhm.
memory leaks. But I think I tried to play a couple games with Lefty. It might have been what was it, Midgard? You know what I'm talking about? It's made by Gearbox.
What
Tribes of
is it
Midgard or
called?
whatever.
What's it called?
Tribes of Midgard.
No, I've never heard of it.
It's kind of like a survival tribal one. You can think of Valhalla. Was it Valhalla? No, Valheim.
Okay.
Kind of like Valheim,
Oh yeah.
but with a more Borderlands kind of cell shaded kind of ness.
Oh.
And you've got a pre-built base that you defend from like the different golems and stuff like that. But that was like on the 750, and that's when it was just like trying to play, and then like I didn't have a mic, and then trying to watch like his stream and communicate on there. I mean, it was rough. Then I went from that to a 1650, which was like,
Oh wow.
yeah, it wasn't. He's like, yeah, that's like nothing, but compared to what I had, it was like super major, right?
Yeah.
Well, I went from the 1650 to what I have now is the 3060. So I did
Oh, okay. Another
So-
big jump.
oh yeah, and the
Did you
whole,
say jumps and jumps and jumps?
well, because the 750 is what I had, and then I got a good deal. It was like 179 or 189 or something for the 1650. But
Oh, that's a nice
it was one of those things that I wasn't realizing at the time. It was my video card that was bottlenecking. Now it's my CPU. But yeah, I mean, I would not even be able. It was hard. It was a struggle bus trying to play because I used a 55-inch 4K TV, right? So that's my main display. And taking that and converting that into 720 and into the game and tweaking all these settings just became too much of a hassle. And that's when I'm like, nope, I need to upgrade the card. And I'm still, like I said, I'm using i7 5820, and they're now on the i7 1400s.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I don't know what they just keep like. I get it. Like, I think it's more them increasing it than that being like, we need to have better graphics. And I actually think it comes down to the manufacturer going, what can we do to
honestly,
consumers?
video cards are you don't need a better video card.
Well,
I mean, well, you do because you don't have a dedicated one, which is weird. Is when they say dedicated, to me, you would think dedicated is on the board, but integrated is on the board. Dedicated is a separate one.
No, yeah.
But as it is,
Which I
I'm
think-
playing Sudoku.
yeah.
But when like what they've been doing on consoles and stuff, like think Xbox One compared to games, is something called
I have the Xbox One.
huh?
I have the Xbox. Actually, my dad had the Xbox One. He gave it to me. He moves.
I have
And now I still have it. Like, it just doesn't really work.
right now. I have set up an Xbox One, Xbox One X, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro, Xbox Series X
But you
in a
have
box.
all these?
Huh?
You have all these?
Yeah, right now.
Shit, dude.
Yeah, I was a console gamer. I mean, I love it.
Fucking arcade machine.
Honestly, that's one thing. Funny you say that. If I knew how to do better with building, or if I knew someone that would do it, I want to build my own arcade. Because all you really need to do is basically get a cheap little computer. You can use yours or one of those $30 ones I was saying from the thrift store.
Yeah.
Put a 32-inch monitor in there with a little plexiglass. Somebody builds you a case. You run an emulator. There you go.
Oh man. Did I tell you that they have a new Paperboy coming out?
I know what.
A new Paperboy? There's like a
Wait. What?
The Paperboy. You remember the Paperboy?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like okay. So I was talking to Leo. We were talking about shit. And he was saying, oh, you should look up and see if they have it on Steam, like, because I was on about Snake and obviously English Snake, and he was like, you should look it up. So I looked up the Paperboy because that's my all-time favorite PC game. And they have the Paperboy or the Paper. I don't know. It's like the 21st century version. It looks similar, but like latest graphics. Yeah. I don't like that they didn't give homage to the original though. They didn't even mention it. They make it sound like they came up with the idea.
See, that's what I like what they did with Diablo 2 Resurrected. How they had the new version, but you could hit like the escape key and it went into the old version. How you could just toggle back and forth. Like you could be playing the original one and like people are like, these graphics aren't good. I'm like, yeah, go ahead and hit like escape and then you see the old graphics, you know? But there's something even more old school than that is a legit Atari 2600 cartridge from the Atari 2600 from 1982, I believe, just got released as like a 40-year anniversary coming out for the Atari 2600 on an official Atari cartridge. I think it's called like Hail Mary or Rage Mary. It's a game that got blacklisted, or not blacklisted, but like put on the side burner that they actually just released. I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Wait, but like is it like an emulator then?
It's an actual cartridge. It's an actual Atari 2600 cartridge that they just made.
So like they're gonna release a new Atari?
Well, they have a new Atari game system, but you could.
Know that.
Yeah, I don't think it's not Atari anymore because I think someone else just bought the name. But no, if you have an Atari 2600, it'll fit into it. Like we have. I don't count GameStop because they're basically a scaled down version of Walmart. But like gamers, which is like you bring in used video games and you can trade them and sell them, and they have old consoles, new consoles. Or we have this place called JCD and Hobby. Oh my god. Dude, look at that score. That was a high-scoring game. Mental note. Talk and don't pay attention to the game and hit buttons and you will win. I was seriously not even paying attention to the game. That is crazy. Wow. But no, you can like buy an Atari and stuff there. That's why I wanted to get a see, okay. Now if I just found at a garage sale like, Final Fantasy or Dragon Warrior, you could sell it, right? But since this is my legit version, and as you know, like they didn't have memory cards, right? So I don't know if there used to be a rent